has got the facts for you. EX the storyteller, bringing the spark. No one does it better. EX, you've heard the rest, but she's the best. Yeah, she's the best. Oh, from ancient tales to modern schemes, unraveling truths and chasing dreams.
Morning.
Good morning, cousin. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay. This is like really impromptu. I am going live at 1, maybe
Okay.
12:30. I'm gonna be doing an interview with brother the founder. Um,
Oh, we found it.
yes. And I'm also going to be doing a live, incorporated in that, I guess after I interview him because he does have to go to work. Talking about Ohio because what man dummy did when he said powered by immigrants was
Oh,
now white tea immigrants from Ohio saying they built Ohio.
oh
So,
God.
right. So, Brother Malik would like to speak on Midwest FBA culture and their contribution. Now, there was a girl who was following me, but she wound up blocking me. After I was arguing with somebody, I don't know if she took offense to what I said, but I'm not gonna hold my tongue for anything. Like I don't know y'all people in real life, right?
It's like,
So I'm just like, oh, okay, I don't really care. And
I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can't come to the internet being soft. Like,
right,
oh,
that
I'm interested in this for sure. Like, it's crazy because, I'm from the Midwest originally, so I can attest to that for sure. They don't play that shit in the Midwest. I'm gonna tell you right now.
right.
It was a story where an Indian store owner, like an Indian gas station owner, yep, of a BP, he
Hmm.
put his hands on a young black woman and accused her of stealing. Do you know that whole community burnt that shit down and almost burnt the whole community down?
As they should. They gotta understand. They can't. In India, I I believe it was like India. Um, Certainly Middle Eastern countries, there was a period in time that we'd find videos and they'd be doing messed up stuff to the Africans, just spitting up on them, beating
Yes.
them, even the pregnant women. So
Yes,
if
they
they thought
do.
they was gonna come here and do that to us, they got
Oh
another
no.
tour coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I heard they be making them SLAVES, over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And yeah, they be making them especially in the UAE. The Africans are their servants and everything. So I don't understand why either group think they finna come over here and subject us to the same thing. I don't appreciate that. Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-mm. This whole experience in New York, and even one of my homegirls, and she's native New Yorker, family from the Carolinas too. She says
Okay.
this is the most racism she's ever experienced is up here in New York, and I said facts.
Well, I went to school in the '90s, and I went to the same school as Jennifer Lopez, except she was upper class. I didn't know her. I'm just giving you a picture. If you saw her picture from high school, her yearbook pictures, you'll figure out the dynamic. To date, though, it's more black and Puerto Rican. So I guess we were like the barrier breakers into flipping that school into something more diverse. However, you know, those I got called the N word. Had the chance to be up the block, you know.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
that's why when they be like I see a lot of misconceptions about New York that we're not racist. There was no slavery here. Well, you don't like New York soul food. I get it. Um,
Girl, I mean, you know what? Maybe I'll try this place in Brooklyn. I forgot where. I think it's like Katie's or something because that looked fire. I'm not gonna lie. But the rest is because they be co-opting. Besides the co-opting and the regular, like true. So, like for example, Charles. I like Charles. It's okay. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? But he's from the Carolinas, and like maybe I have a taste for like the deep South soul food. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's a little bit of a difference from like coastal South versus like deep South. So I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like maybe because I grew up like with my dad's family from Mississippi, actually cooking for the family, like baking, all this like big family party. So it's just so different.
Than New York, right?
Yeah.
So here's the issue. We do that too, right? So I think it's also a matter of whose house you go to. But because New York is so fast paced and the women are more likely to work, I don't really know how it is in the South if the women work or if they don't. But I know here how fast paced it is, right?
Right.
So for school days, my father used to make us like in the north we eat a lot of like oatmeal, hot cereal, stuff like that.
Yes. Cream of
Right.
wheat and stuff like that.
Right. So my dad would, because my stepmother won't eat oatmeal and stuff. She said she was raised on it. She's sick of that. So for breakfast, my father would get up in the morning, make me and my sister our breakfast while we got ready for school. Good morning. Y'all could join. There's no real topic. It's just a freestyle or event session. You got something you want to get off your chest? Come up here and spit it out. This is an FBA safe space and an FBA echo chamber. I don't feel like dealing with no immigrants today. Oh
Oh
well,
no, not this
so
early.
but here's the thing: on Saturdays, my mother would make like very big breakfasts, bacon, home fries.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Eggs, cheese with cheese, biscuits, homemade biscuits too, blueberry muffins, stuff like that. So we would have those type of meals on Saturdays, and Sundays were big dinners, right?
Oh yes. I mean,
And
I'm sure in the
yeah,
household is, you
yeah,
get your soul food. You're gonna get whatever culture, eat
yeah.
that you're raised by. But I'm saying like restaurant culture wise,
Oh, I got you.
it's not there for me, restaurant culture wise. But I know homemade, hell yeah. Absolutely. You gonna go
Do
to
you
a Black
go?
American house and
Okay, so I'm glad we cleared that up because when people hear that, they be like, "See, I told you New Yorkers can't cook," but we actually can, right?
no, New Yorkers can't cook. I've experienced Black American people in New York, and trust me, my homegirl throws down. She throws down Black American style, and she know how to cook Jamaican food. And I'm just like, damn.
Right. But I'm gonna give you. Do you go to Staten Island?
You know what? That's the only borough I haven't been to.
Well, I only been there once, and I'm 50. I've lived here 46 years, born and raised, right? But I did spend 4 years in the South during different periods. So about 3 years with my grandparents, and then 1 year in 2016. But I came back to New York in 2017. The goal is to always, for me, go back to the South. This time a little more prepared, right?
Yes. I mean, that is the goal. I'm not
Right.
gonna
I do
lie.
not go to Staten Island because the Verrazano Bridge sways with the wind, right? And I'm
Yes.
not getting on no ferry because if you was in New York during a certain time period, you know that ferry crashed and people lost their limbs.
Yeah, actually, that's the reason why I don't go. You're absolutely right because of the ferry. Because I
Right.
don't do boat and water as far as like trying to commute. Like if it's something like a freestyle type of thing, that's one thing. But to get on the MTA ferry is crazy. I'm good.
Right. But there is a very, very good restaurant, and there was a black town named Sandy Ground in Staten Island, and the building of the Verrazano Bridge destroyed it. But there is a lady who is FBA, and she descends from those in Sandy Ground.
Oh
And it was
wow.
a lady from Philly who told me her name is Sister Bootsy. Maybe she'll join us soon. Meaning when I go live again, because she probably we have to get ready for work when she gets up. But she be telling me a lot of things. These people at FBA, look, this restaurant and saying this FBA, but I don't think so. Like she's really tapped into New York history.
Wow. You know what? I learned a lot being out here too in New York, like Van Cortlandt Park. And,
Mhm.
everybody always talk about Seneca Village, but, me being in the Bronx, I go to Van Cortlandt frequently. And, they still have the slave house up that they have as a museum, and people come to visit for tours and stuff. And I'm just like, I feel crazy.
Do you know what I found out? There's slave ships in New York.
Oh
My
my
cousin,
God.
that's what Creator was saying because me and Dan had went where he said caused like kind of a ripple effect, so more people are talking about the enslaved here. He did mention the ships. There's a historian. I'll send you the video because those people who were enslaved by the Dutch are actually my people, right? Here in New York, in New
Yeah.
Jersey, right? So I have a connection to Jersey too.
Yeah,
Um,
I want to know both histories actually, and even with Jersey, I used to work in Jersey.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't, I see the Italian takeover of Jersey, but you don't hear a lot of people talk about like the historical black things of New Jersey, New York a
Morning,
little more, but
time. Mhm. So my family, well, you know what we could start doing, Mia? Because I wasn't ready to go visit those landmarks, but we could go get the history itself from the people that still run the landmarks. They ain't
oh
gonna tell us
yeah,
everything. They ain't gonna tell us everything. We probably have to do two and two, make sure,
we
if they're
could
gonna tell
do.
us, yeah.
Oh yeah, we could do like a whole tour. That's cool. I drive and everything, so we could be right up over there.
Okay. And even go out to Jersey because I haven't been there. But the cool thing is this. So what man Dammy did, even though I'm still getting his ass, I was just putting the letter up and sending it to my email list so they could flood his office with letters of you have to remember who built this city. Like we want a public distraction, we just mess with that. But so I haven't really been out to Jersey to see what was going on and stuff. But cool. Like I'll put gas in your car and everything because I do want to kind of visit certain places, and we can talk more about that in the back chat. Just because in the hallway, not the people in the room. The people in the room, I don't have no problem with them. But they don't need to know exactly my history, and they don't need to know exactly what to look for here.
Right, and they don't need to know what we doing anyway, so you know how that go. But yeah, definitely
These are
anywhere.
that's unbelievable. Y'all could request up. It's a vent session, the FCA safe space, and y'all could come up here and vent and decompress from them immigrants that we forced to be around because they don't know how to stay out of our spaces.
You know what, too? And if you want to, if we want to expand
Mhm.
it, I don't know if you want to expand it to anybody that we mess with, in our circle, like that's in New York, if they interested, or in New York, New Jersey area, if they interested in doing it, we could just get a van or something. Like we could rent a van and be outside. Um,
Oh, that would be nice. We got to start some FBA centered events, and a genealogical one could be really cool.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fired. And I was in the lineage verification class thing too.
With who?
With
April and them?
yes, with April and all of them, yeah.
When was that? Because I signed up and they hit me with the 404.
It was on Sunday, and it did hit you with the
Okay, that one I
404.
did miss. Uh-huh.
But they still give you the link for Sunday. So we was on there on Sunday. I mean, I didn't catch the end. I did the beginning. The beginning I'm already familiar with because I've been on it. With finding your with the whole genealogical record search, and I've actually been spitting this out on panels too. Like you could use ancestry without the DNA part if you're not, you don't want to send your DNA in. And that's basically what it was how to, cross reference your genealogical record search between ancestry and I think my heritage and my family something
I've
like
done all of that stuff. I thought it was something different. So,
I
did you
did
have your
too.
lineage verified yet?
No, they didn't. Because I was like, I typed in the chat. I was like, well, I've already, I basically already did it too. So I didn't want to keep repeating that. But I was like, I'm interested in verifying my lineage. Like, if y'all are giving the free genealogy, I would love that. So they said they would do the free genealogist that would go over your search and verify that everything is correct.
Right.
But I didn't see that, maybe because I didn't stay on. But I'm gonna ask like
No, I don't
Monique.
think that they doing that right now. Because that's not.
Okay.
So, what they doing, say the name of the class that you just took with them. The
Lineage verification.
So it was lineage verification. Okay, so I'm looking for more of the one of how to be one who verifies for the organization. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what I thought it was gonna be. I thought,
Yeah,
and I guess they said, they could help you be
yeah.
like a source to. I'm like, I'm already a source to that. I was one of the first people preaching that you could use ancestry without the DNA.
Of course.
So,
But
I
go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry, I keep
I'm
cutting you.
sorry. Oh no. I was gonna say I just feel like I thought it was just gonna be different. So when they're ready, maybe they're doing it in parts. So when they're ready and they actually have the genealogist on deck,
One
that's the
more.
part I'm interested in. Yeah.
Well, first we got to finish our requirements. Like, I think that first of all, they're not going to just give a resource like that right away, right? They gotta see that we are going to be really for the people, like for their people, our people, right? So I think that we have to finish our volunteer requirements and stuff first. So it
Mm,
makes sense that it was just an introduction to genealogy as opposed to how to become a verifier for the organization. Because you got to think about it, they've been at it for years. We're new bucks, you know?
right. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I know. I'm brand new. I'm a baby,
yeah,
so I ain't gonna even play like that. But
right.
I've been on it. Like I've been listening to the conversations, the nuances. Since Clubhouse days. I actually exited off of Clubhouse because it was just too much going on. But I've been around and listening, but I'm brand new to trying to be active and do anything. So I just feel like yeah, that's fine. But what were I didn't see where he put the volunteer requirements because I could sign that off ASAP.
Well, you got to go to peers first.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay, so when you see, let me see who's a part of it, Hitachi, or when you see April,
Okay.
um, tell them that you want your kids appointment so that you could talk about how to become a part of the organization, not
Okay.
just the telegram. And it's really good. They'll sit there with you, and it's an orientation you have to go through and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
So
then
that
the
doesn't come with you buying into the coin like
no,
that. No, okay.
no, no, that's different because the point is too much, baby.
Too
That's his
much
thing.
thing. Okay,
Right.
okay.
And so he sort of, from what I could tell, right, because I wasn't at the board with them having a meeting, but what they're doing is they come partnering together. So April has been at this for years. And so she knows where the deficits are for us, and one is currency, economic stuff like that. And so her
Hmm.
and too much, they obviously hit it off, but that's too much, baby. Too much in crypto. So
Right.
that part,
Yep.
yeah.
Too much of Marcus. Yep. No, we be having some good back chats. I wish you'd be on the back
Yeah,
chats with Hillary.
because I feel claustrophobic. I'm tired of clicks, right? I think
I
that when I'm a
agree.
yeah, let
But
me just get this out. When I'm a part of a clique, even though I know how to play support, it seems like people still have an issue. And what I realized on this app is that I have to speak up for myself because everybody be on the I'm neutral. So I don't want to be a part of a clique. Being a part of a clique on TikTok has gotten people doxxed, which people are trying to do to me too, just because I said I don't agree with doxing. So now they want to dox
what? Now they
me.
coming for you too?
Exactly. Because of who the person is, that's my. I love Halo, and I think it was wrong that they doxed her.
They still like on that? Like, nah,
Well,
that's
they're not on
crazy.
it like that, but they're using me saying I didn't agree with it as
So
a
what? You
reason
don't
to
have
come
to
for
agree with
me.
them. But my thing is, nobody has to do nothing that they don't want to do. So why they even coming for
Hey,
people
Miss
who
Rabbit.
they coming for everybody who support them, basically everybody
Right.
who docs, who they docs. But
But
it's
I
like,
kind of been on the hit list anyway because I'm going to stand 10 toes down. If y'all all saying this is the way we should do it because y'all don't like the Africans, but I see a flaw in it, I'm going to tell you I ain't going with y'all.
but see, we in the land. You already know we in the land of lawsuits. So if they want to play like that,
Right. So some things like the Telegram, it's really cool. I'm joining the things and stuff, but I can't be there all day. I feel claustrophobic, and that's the same thing with the organization.
you
So I
know
like to
what?
do my own thing.
It's a
It
breath
works
of
for
fresh
me.
air sometimes. Like, like when you want to get away from the TikTok panel,
Yeah,
but then you want to still like share your ideas and you want to be raw about it. You want to kind of say what you want to say.
you could cuss over
So
there.
yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, yeah. So you could say what you want to say. So it's like, you really get to the nitty gritty of stuff. And we really had some great conversations over there. But I'll pop in here and there, not nothing crazy like every day. Like, nah. I agree with you saying because sometimes I like to come out. People have interest in panels,
Yeah,
um, or interest in rooms in general. So I like to check that out.
yeah, and I mod for some really cool people. So
You do. Like I be checking out Afro Elite. I mess with Leo. I
yeah.
seen you mod for somebody. He was new though. I'd never seen him before. Really, I don't remember his name. But I know you the mod for a
Is
few
he the
people.
superhero guy? Because I'm
Y-
trying to figure out. I got to go into my settings and unmod myself.
Yes,
Yeah, I got to
FBA.
unmod myself. He already starting problems. He's like another Unan.
Yes, I see. I was in the room. And that's what it
Okay.
was given. And yeah, that's over. I'm sorry. I'm highly offended by Hunan, and I'm highly offended by what he did.
Yeah.
I unfollowed him and everything because you know what? T Time was like, "Well, this is the one y'all be putting on the pedestal." I'm like, "Y'all who? I'm new. I don't know nobody in real life.
Right. And Hunan is new. So,
Hunan is new." But my thing is that he said he ran for a political position, and I'm scared of that. I'm not gonna lie because it's like now you in our politics and now you the author of confusion on this right now.
right. So I think that we give everybody a try, right? Especially if they say in the FBA, right? We give
Mhm.
everybody a try. Um, I don't think that we pedestalize Hunan. I don't think that we pedestalize the superhero guy. I just think people were offended and felt it in that moment because they entered the room at a different. They didn't see from beginning to end.
See, they don't know for real. A lot of people are new. You know what I'm saying? Just got on TikTok last week, so they really don't know what's been happening over the whole summer. This
Right.
has been stretched out over the summer. Like, so I've been with the community probably since about February of last year. That's what's crazy. Or
Mm.
I've at least been before Tariq Nasheed got on the platform, they used to post his videos and stuff, like little snippets of his YouTube and stuff like that. So that's how I even got involved. Like, you know what, this right, this hitting for me. So, where the people at? So I just, yeah, I got a lot of feelings about it, but I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to start no problems and all that. I
Yeah,
just,
so I don't know. I think Hunan kind of put everybody on guard. So now any little thing they think we're choosing those types over them, it's not necessarily true. I'm not going in American Indian rooms no more. Because I don't agree. I could be scrolling and all I hear is American Indians saying how they don't like foundational Black Americans. So not all of them feel that way, but it's enough for me not to even go in the one's room who don't say that. For the simple fact that when I'm arguing and tussling with those who don't like us, they ain't taking up for me. So
I'm gonna I'm gonna keep it 100 when it comes to them, and I'm not trying to take nobody's ancestry, but let's be for real. When we look at you in the street, y'all identify as Black too.
right.
So I don't understand the disdain for those who identify as FBA or who says they have some African lineage. Like, you are not pure 100% Aboriginal or mixed 100% with native redskins. Like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to play like that. Um, I don't appreciate that because we're an amalgamation of things
Yeah.
and we're intergenerationally mixed. We're not
So
directly biracial and all that. So it's like they trying to act like they're biracials basically, and I don't like that.
yeah. So I'm like, I'm over it. I am. If they don't come into American, not American, foundational Black American rooms, then I ain't gonna be speaking to them. I'm just moving on.
You know what? I never really went to their rooms because they too disparaging. They hung up on arguing and talking about people. Like, no.
So
Like,
that's
it's
where I'm at with everything.
like a clapback is one thing, always, stand 10 toes down for yourself, your bloodline and your lineage. But when it comes to like that's the first thing you saying online when we open the app at 6, 7 in the morning is crazy.
Yeah. Hi, Deodo.
And what I
Okay.
don't like, and I'm gonna say this, BX. What I didn't like about Hunan is that he sat there and he let us express our indigeneity and talk about like our amalgamation and like our bloodline and stuff like that. Just to turn around and curse one of the American Indian sisters out. Just to turn around and start disparaging folks. Like just full on cussing them out. Like that's crazy. Like I don't know you to be getting cussed out for real.
So I'm just like, I'm over everybody. So if it's not an FBA room, and I don't even go in no FBA room, I'm not going in your room. I'm not going in their room because they always throwing shots, no matter if it's a Pan African or a Pan American Indian. FBA is always going to be hit with some straight bullets. Y'all don't like Tariq. I don't like the people y'all look up to either, but I don't let that affect the relationship that I have with those who I'm close to. But I
I
went.
feel
Oh,
like
Marshall. I'm going into Marshall's room, of course. But everybody else, I don't know. I ain't going.
no, he's cool. Yeah, he Marshall and Leo and certain people that be teaching. You know what I'm saying? I like folks that be teaching and actually talking about something than to just be sitting up there hooping and hollering all damn day and night.
Yeah. So that's my thing, because it's not anything we say is not a hard concept to understand. So if we say we're not African, but we do have some African ancestors, some indigenous ancestors, and even those pesky Europeans, as I call them, what is so hard about that? Because they got some pesky European ancestors, but they understand that, right? It's just like a really, really deep disdain they have for the Africans, and I get it. But at the same time, they're allowing that to come between us because they're looking at us as little Africans.
Yeah, little washed Africans. That's what I've been told.
What?
Yeah,
Little what?
little washed up Africans. That's what they call us. Especially us brown and lighter skinned folks. We just so washed.
Uh, that's
We
crazy.
we just so washed. And I'm like, baby. How can we be washed from a people that we not a part of? Make it make sense.
Right. That's
Make
crazy.
it make
But
sense.
I'm of the belief that I think that everything was cool with the Africans until the height of social media. So I can separate my ancestors from these modern day people, right? For the
Right.
simple fact that my ancestor wouldn't have been captured and traded if they were similar to those people. So there had to be a difference as to why they were at WAR. And if we look at everything our ancestors did, they aren't the ones that returned to Africa, because some went back to Africa. They were the ones that stayed here and built stuff and made sure that we had these thriving towns. They made sure we had family reunions. So whereas they were cast from the continent, when their children here were snatched from them, they were saving money, saving pennies, putting ads in newspapers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so our ancestors, if you believe you have African ancestry, are not those people that we see from the continent today. They were different.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stand on that because you know why? Especially if you're a spiritualist and you believe in ancestor veneration, why would you deny any of your ancestors except for the Europeans? Because I can get why you would be like, But
Right.
you
They
know what I'm
want us
saying?
to deny the other sides of us. I see that the fact that we're Aboriginal and the fact that some of us may be Native as well. They want us to just
I
forget
like
about
Native.
all that. They just want us to be like, oh, just Africa. Your whole life and your whole being is attributed to Africa, and that's not true. I don't know nothing about modern day Africa. And my ancestors, they were unfortunately bred out. You know what I'm saying? If I do have some ancestors that came over from them ships, they were on breeding plantations and they were bred out, and by the third generation we were no longer African. So,
Exactly. But hi, Toyota.
and I do agree. I don't understand. You know what I don't understand, BX?
Hey, BS. Hey, Maya. How
Hey,
y'all doing, family?
Deota, how you doing?
I'm good this morning. How about you, ladies, man? I'm with BS. If it's not really an FBA panel or space, I really don't want to go in or engage with these people. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I did go into an African panel yesterday, but it was the South
Uh-oh.
Africans versus Nigeria, so I was having a good
Uh-oh.
laugh. That was just it.
Peace, Jedi. Yeah, yeah. Because no matter what room we go into, if it's not SBA, we getting strays. We catching strays, and I think for the most part, we try to be really fair to everybody else, right? Because even though if we want different things with our reparations package, we make sure that all of it is inclusive and the time period aligns to where everybody was in here, whether they were free, enslaved, or what else is there? Indigenous, right? We make sure that everybody, we're from here. Right, you gotta hit that. Okay, so for reparations, Miss Rabbit, we're asking everybody to go back to the 1870 census because the 1900s is when people started migrating here. So yeah, so we're trying to make sure that we have everybody in here in the time period, the Emancipation era, and even then, I'm told we trying to give the immigrants, XYZ, and I'm just like, are they serious? But
That's
that's
insanity. I when it comes to the reparations, and I was just arguing with somebody on Threads right before I popped up over here.
wow. I close my account to Threads.
Threads is annoying. Um, basically somebody came out and said, "Why the diaspora war? We gotta go and be friends and blah blah blah." And I said, "Yeah, we're not finna kumbaya with y'all. Like it's a wrap. We're good." So people was upset and telling us that we've been just blaming them for jobs being gone and this and that. No, since 1965 we've been very welcoming, we've been very open arms with all these communities, shopping with y'all, getting our hair done by y'all, whatever services y'all offer. But when it comes to time to reciprocate, I've never seen these people in Black American establishments. Um, I've never seen these people really patronize with Black Americans. So I was just, it was really a back and forth for them feeling salty.
Yeah. So let me ask you your experience. Well, you just said it. You just said it. So, but do you find that Black Americans will not only patronize other people's businesses, but hire them for their own?
We literally, like, even in my own business, like, if I could just have it as Black
Thank you.
American, I would. But
Thanks for your light.
literally,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, literally, we mess with everybody. Like, I never denied nobody anything just because they wasn't Black American. Like, I find it crazy how they do it to us. Like, I've had a direct experience with that. For example, being in the nightlife industry, right? I have a multitude of licenses. So I have a bartending license too. So I was
Mhm.
working at a Jamaican restaurant, a very popular one too uptown. So cool. We was cool couple months actually. I hounded them down because I knew they was just getting a liquor license and they didn't have a bartender. So I was hounding them down for that position. The owner was cool. He let me whatever. But because he was ready to retire, he turned over the operations to one of his people, and it was a female, and she was so nasty towards me. They was trying to accuse me of stuff being missing or like them not making turnover profit, and eventually they ended up firing me because basically because I'm Black American for real, and they wanted to put in one of their people. Like they could have said that. They could have just said, we may not be able to afford to pay you or whatever. That's what the excuse was, is that we can't afford to pay or whatever the case is. But if he couldn't afford to pay, then he shouldn't have hired me.
Right. But you know what I'm thinking? Futurism, right? When you mentioned Jamaicans, and going by your picture, and I have seen you on camera, right? When you came off camera, they are highly, and the term is not colorist, it's futurism. So Jamaicans even made songs like "I Love My Browning," right? So
Yes.
you get it, because you dated Jamaican, and so it could have been a little tinge of jealousy there too. Plus, you're Black American, so
I
they
think it
kind of,
was mostly that I'm Black American because
yeah,
the lady was considered brown, but she could be a bleach out. You know what I'm saying? How that
yeah,
goes. So, and it's crazy you say that because one man ran me down out the cold red. Like, oh,
mhm,
real browning, no bleach out. Da, 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 da. Like,
yeah,
oh shit.
yeah. So it's a lot of things, but yeah, and I just think that we gave everybody an opportunity, and then even without fail, we supported their businesses. I personally watched our businesses go down in the city, like in decline, and we've supported their businesses without fail, without second guessing them, only to find out a lot of the things that they say about us. Good morning, Extreme. So for me, I'm boycotting everybody. The Asians, the Africans, the Caribbean.
I agree.
I think that we
Um,
get a bad rap, and I want to know. I really want the businesses disaggregated because I want to know who really got the bad customer service.
I want to boycott the mainstream too. I want us to be at a point where we're at a self-sufficient ecosystem and we don't mess with nobody.
Right, like we used to be.
And see how far ahead that we got. Our families was owning property and stuff like that. Like when my great grandmother migrated up north on my mother's side from Georgia, she bought a three-family house.
Hey, TikTok. Hmm.
And my family was raised in that house all the way up into the late 80s, early 90s. And that house existed in my family until I was a teenager. So We need to get back to that. Like that was literal generational wealth. That was generational gold. Our side of the family was never homeless. You know, if they lost their place, they could come back. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to get back to that ASAP.
Yeah. So, well, everything and anything is possible. We do see that in Georgia there was what 19 Black American families. There was also a man, and I don't know if he was Black American, but he built a mini community for Black people in Georgia. Um,
I think I know who
so
you're saying. So there's you're right. There's 19 families that bought like acres of land.
right.
And then there's a group of brokers in Alabama who also did the same thing and they're building like a subdivision. And I actually just seen an interview with someone from who lives in Atlanta and they said or they actually from Atlanta and they said they don't experience, they grew up around black excellence all their life and they not accustomed to the things that we be saying about how we be getting disparaged like up north and stuff like that.
You know,
And
I gotta call Joe. I gotta call Cap on Georgia because New York has been migrating down to Georgia since the '70s. That's where my granny and her husband took me, and in the '70s, right, the late '70s. However, she's from the North Carolina, so I'm thinking maybe her husband was from Georgia. But the reverse migration didn't just start; it's been happening, and a lot of families from New York do have West Indian people in them. So I don't know what Georgia be talking about. I think they be lying. I think everybody just be lying so New York could look bad by itself. But with
you know
something,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
you know what? They might be it might be a little cap in there. But like my sister lives there, for example. She lives in Columbus. She don't live in the city. She's you know what? She says they kinda right. Yeah, they got different races and stuff. Obviously it's America, but they not out of control. Like they was like, they don't play like that up in Georgia. They not out of control like that, in Georgia.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Because you hear them tell me, ain't nobody down here for Black America. Okay?
Oh no,
That's
no, no. No. They not saying that.
that's when we was Trinidadian and moved down to Georgia. Okay, stop playing with me.
Oh no, my sister tell you her little Uber driver was African and he had just came from New York and she was telling him, "Oh, my sister live in New York, blah blah blah." So he was like, "Yeah, I really like it here," and telling her his experience. I'm like, okay.
Right. Okay, well, in that manner, but I can tell you one thing. I think that Latinos, for the most part, are getting a wake up call. And so, what they're trying to do is separate like foundation Black American New Yorkers from the rest of our people, right? And so, um, they don't realize how embarrassing they are when they get up there. I'm from New York. Those days are over because y'all messed it up and y'all can't go down to certain areas. Y'all can't even go to Philly and act like that. You know? They got to get
Thank
it
you
together.
extremely.
They got to
Uh,
get it together.
yeah, I mean they did mess it up, especially with the whole hip hop conversation. I'm over it.
Me too.
I'm just like I'm flabbergasted. Really, I'm more flabbergasted than angry. And it's because y'all my people and I know, we have such deep roots in every single part of the country.
Right.
That was one of the first things I learned about New York when I moved out here. I said, well, what's the history of the black folks? I didn't want to learn the history of no immigrants. I know that most of y'all came off of Ellis Island. I know the European ones came from Ellis Island. The Puerto Ricans migrated in the 40s when they was extradited over here by the United States federal government. And the Dominicans is a new wave, the new wave of immigrants as far as Hispanics. Mexicans, they're more of a new wave thing too in New York because Mexicans are usually in, the Texas and Cali and the Midwest.
I'm seeing them in my area. So we only seen a few Mexicans, right? But they kind of just blended in. You see them with their children, and that's where we get We noticed that they dress their babies like they're going to quinceañeras, right? So we always had a very minimal presence of Mexicans, especially in the Bronx. But now I'm starting to see them like in a park in my area. They're playing kickball or
Yes,
they're
you
playing
right.
soccer. And
Soccer, yeah.
it's aggravating to me. I gotta tell you, I think that this wave, thank you for gifting y'all. This wave of immigrants to New York has left a cloud over it. New York looks so, I was driving and I hit the cross Bronx and I'm looking at everybody. Nobody is dressed up going to work. Everybody looks downtrodden. I said, where the hell is the pretty people? And I wanted to run to church. I wanted to go to church
Oh
because
my
I think
God.
that's where the pretty people are.
They
There's
on my
nobody,
side, BX.
huh?
They on my side, BX.
Oh, okay, don't tell me where you are on the public platform. You can tell. And then yesterday on the panel, this Dominican, I'm going at her, and she's like, "You want a link?" And the whole chat was like, "What are you talking about? Link with her? What you ain't doing nothing. I'm in New York." Then you see the chat saying, "I'm in New York. You better be easy. I'm in New York. I'm in New York." And then people outside of New York was like, "I'll fly in. I'll fly in. You're not touching Auntie." I was like, "Oh, that feel good," you know.
Oh, that's period.
She thought that I guess she thought that was gonna scare me, but when I was like, "Did you say link?" Because I was taken aback. What she mean link? What the fuck that mean, right? And then I was like, "Oh, South Bronx, ho." And then she kind of got quiet, and then everybody was like, "Oh, okay, you talking like that?" And because she couldn't answer my point, what she said, Mia, was the Italians are crying over Mandami. I don't know that man name. The new mayor elect. And it's like, okay, move on already. So after she finished talking, I was like, well, I ain't really aligning with the Italians, but what Mandami did was very detrimental, especially to my ethnic group. This isn't a place of immigrants. If my ancestors' body was the first ones on Wall Street, I actually descend from those enslaved by the Dutch here. We built everything. And you know what she gonna say to me? Because she could not logically rebuttal my response, she was like, so Mayor Adams did his thing? I said, bitch, why are you deflecting? Why are you deflecting? It's not about what Adams did. We're addressing Mandini and his
Bec-
statements of erasure.
because
Because
they think because they think that you or we in general, we just going for anybody black. And that's not what's happening right now.
right, because I ain't vote for Beanhead Adams.
Okay, his big head ass. Ain't nobody vote for him. Not over here.
Yeah, and then she was like, but I'm a New Yorker. I'm this, but you came on the panel talking about you Dominican. Now all of a sudden you a New Yorker. I said you a vulture. And I can tell you a vulture because the way you came on the panel, like, yeah, I'm from New York. I just came from this concert. It was some black artist. I already knew what she was doing. Let me break the ice by showing I'm tapped into black culture and go on from there. I
They
think
so
that's
annoying. They
right.
get on my nerves with the cosplay. You know what I'm saying? Like the cosplay, but yet coming at us for being ourselves. Because they want that swag, they want that drip.
Yeah.
And, like, girl, and then you know what I'm getting pissed off with them calling black people transplants when they hold immigrants.
Who they called that? People from the South?
Oh, you didn't know? When
I be
I
talking with these damn people. I can't deal with but so much. This is why I keep telling people I block the big shows because in real life, an African is going to walk past me and put their head down. They really not going to be doing all this stuff here. The Caribbean might try, but we know they really can't fight. So all this talking that they're doing on these apps, I'm not for the talking. So
oh
if it's
they
not
they
my lifelong friends, I ain't really making no new friends.
oh yeah, they up here calling the black people who move into New York transplants, the same lingo that we use for the white folks that move up here
Okay.
and change the culture. And I had to tell people I was adopted by the Bronx, baby. Like I survived the shelter system and all that. Like this not that. You know what I'm saying? And I've been here since I was a teenager. So yeah, like I'm fully adopted by the Bronx. I don't know about y'all. I know y'all want to feel like y'all belong. But this how am I a transplant in my own country? Somebody please explain.
And that was an immigrant that told you that?
Yes, very much so.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep. Yep. That's
So
been the new
now has
thing.
that applied to us, right? Because New York, black New Yorkers have migration paths from the South. So if I'm talking to you and it comes out that your family is from Mississippi, Wisconsin, Atlanta, Texas, something like, I ain't gonna fix my mouth to say you're a transplant. I'm gonna just think y'all migrated here. Like that's normal.
That's what I feel like. Like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? But they now it's to the point where Dominicans are getting on the platform disparaging the South. A Dominican DJ got up here and was like, yeah, because we don't want that Southern shit in our music and in our clubs and blah 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 blah. I took them and said that was not the conversation for you. I get where you coming from. You know, New York has a different music culture. You know, we're more that right there. That's where the diversity come in. When you go to the club, you're not just gonna hear rap R&B. You're gonna hear soca. You're gonna hear dance hall. You're gonna hear reggaeton, dembo. You're gonna hear all of that. However, to disparage the Black American part and say that we don't do that Southern shit. And no, no, we're not finna do that.
And he was Dominican.
Yes, he was
You know what?
Dominican.
You should tell him. You should be like, y'all really don't have no motion because nobody knew y'all had a parade until last year.
Period. And if it wasn't for TikTok, nobody would. I mean, if it wasn't for me living in the Bronx, I would have never knew because I've always lived on the Dominican side of the Bronx.
Mhm.
Except for once or a couple times. I would say I'm from Uptown, but I've lived over on Fordham and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know about their parade. Other than that, you absolutely right. Nobody knew that they had a parade until last year because they was jealous of basically the West Indian parade.
Oh, I thought they were jealous of the Puerto Ricans. Yeah.
That too. The Puerto Rican parade was huge. You know how that go. That's all downtown. That's midtown and stuff like that. Like,
Oh Lord, hold on, hold on. They talking about we harassing and bullying people.
oh Jesus.
Oh,
Pineapples. Mango, 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 mango. Kiwi, 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 kiwi. We not
that
harassing
is
nobody.
crazy.
No, we
Somebody
not.
came in.
Somebody in the hallway being mad. We not harassing nobody. Nope. We're not talking disparaging nobody. We're talking about parades right now. We're talking about different cultural parades. And don't feel no type of way. I just got my page back too, because somebody got me bananas.
But I don't want my page to go down. Oh, I got a new page dedicated to just journalism. I'll put it in your. Well, I think I probably followed you.
The
Where I
with
put
your
it in
red
my
picture on,
interviews. Huh?
with your red, the red one, the red photo.
No, that's old. That's my backup page. But I got
Oh.
a third page where I'm gonna just do my interviews on because doing my interviews here and then joining panels, this page here is liable to go down.
Understood, yeah, because you do be between the two. Cause it's like people really be hating. Like this is crazy. We not even focused on bullying no one group, nothing like that. We don't preach that. We don't preach no hate. We don't
Mhm.
preach none of that. So for them to keep trying to banana stuff, I'm getting irritated with it because they get to be on this platform and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Unless they don't like the prompt.
I don't know about that. Well, we just talking about the term, y'all. We're not talking about our people. We're Black American, y'all. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that term is funny you mentioned that too because I told this man we putting that term on a shirt. He was like, "Am I being naive? Because why is this going on?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, we putting that on a shirt, baby. You got the right idea. You thinking in the right direction."
Yeah. But I guess I'll use that as my cue to log off because I don't want my page to go down. I am doing an interview today. on this page until I get everybody that I want on my other page.
Okay,
I
sounds
enjoy you
good.
talking to me and everybody who came through
Thank you
and
for
liked,
having
approved,
me.
gifted. Yeah. I'll see you in the chat. I gotta go in there anyway and see what's going on. Anything that I'm missing.
No, I mean, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for all the people who are watching and gifting and everything. Keep supporting BX and her platform. She's amazing. She's one of the people really pushing us forward and what we're doing. So y'all keep to the people that's teaching, all right?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, BX, I'm gonna drop down so you can go ahead and log off. I see you
All
in these
right.
TikTok streets.
No doubt.
All right.
Peace, everybody. Have a blessed day. I'll be cutting up on somebody panel that's popular and won't get reported. Okay. Bye.